Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine. Today, we're welcomed by the Caesar of Exodus Pro, Talboy. How we doing,
Yeah,
man?
yeah, boy, I'm doing wonderful this evening. I'm actually very excited about this.
Okay, you seem stoked, and I like to see the energy. I can't wait to see what you bring to the table today, then, man.
Uh, Whatever you throw at me, I'm ready.
Before we dive into your career, maybe what makes you a fan, all those fun things, would you like to shout out your social medias and upcoming events? Just to let the fans know where they can get the latest.
So both Instagram and Twitter will be at Wild Animal Fox. There's no other person that has that. Twitter, I Wild Animal Fox. That's it.
Okay, simple,
And then
easy.
the only next match I have is the match on October 11th at Exodus Pro on Exodus.
Okay, has it been announced yet?
No, not yet. But it's been announced at the show. It's been announced at the
Okay,
last show. Publicly,
no.
kind of, not on social media, but you will see your boy facing off against the former Caesar, Cristiano Argentino, or whatever, however you ever say his name, in a Caesar's revenge match.
Ooh, ooh. Is it so? I'm gonna assume this is the first Caesar's revenge match. Do you have any idea what that looks like for us?
Not
Any
at all.
hints? Any teases? Nothing?
Not at all.
You'll
I am
probably
as
find out
lost
the
as
day
you
of,
are.
huh?
Yeah, basically, I'm sitting here. I mean, I was on stage. I was a little confused on what is a Caesar revenge match is like, but whatever it is, I'm ready.
Okay, okay. We'll dive into everything Cristiano Argento here in a little bit. But I'm gonna dive right into my first question. I try to keep it the same thing every time. Since how we are the I Love Wrestling podcast. Talboy, when did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
I fell in love with professional wrestling back when I was younger, when I am the youngest of three. At the time, it was me and my two older brothers. We kept on throwing each other around. My brothers would play No Mercy at the time, but I wasn't
Mhm.
able to play. I'll just sit down and watch, and like I'm like really admiring it. And then I got even more into wrestling after like I had to spend a weekend with my at my dad's house, and his partner did not like me. They hated me with a passion. So they had a TV in the kitchen where they were playing SmackDown on a very ancient channel called UPN 9. So I would sit down and watch the title reign of Edge and like watching him, watching Hardy. I was sitting there enjoying it, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do that.
Who were some of your favorites growing up?
So growing up over time, it changed. It went from Jeff to Matt to Edge, Punk a little bit just because of how rebellious he is. Um, and now currently is Ilya Dragunov.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a very underrated guy, but like super comfortable where he is. I love the man.
Uh, he's one of those guys. I can't wait till he comes back from his break. I've heard he's been at the PC. Like, just where is this man?
He's like he got injured from training. That I'm sitting here like he didn't get injured from a wrestling match. He got injured at the gym. This man was in training so hard that he said, "Oops."
My thing is like watching it, especially Raw right now. Um, it seems like under the El Grande Americano masks, it presumably we have Ludwig, Tyler Bate, and Pete Dunne. And I've heard rumors like, what happens if that's how they bring Dragunov back?
No,
And like,
God, please don't do that.
I don't want that. I just want him
No,
to come out and beat the hell out of people like he does.
listen, the whole stereotype back in the old days of Russian bad guy type of thing, it definitely needed to end long before he came. And considering the fact that that man is a very passionate individual when it comes to anything and everything he does, promos, training, and wrestling, you can see it in his face from every single reaction. That is one of the most respectful Russian guys I have ever seen in the wrestling world, from my point of view, at least. And I would love to have a match with him someday, just so I can say that I can make him proud while facing him.
Okay. Okay. Growing up, usually as wrestling fans, you always hear the stories of how like people go away from it, maybe throughout middle school into high school, and then come back to it. Was that you at all, or did you stick with it all the way through?
So The unfortunate thing that happened to me with that is from, I would say, the fifth grade back in New York, all the way through high school and even past high school. I became homeless, and I would go in the forbidden lands, backyard wrestling with my friends in the playground to do that once a week. But then after that ended, I would like take these $10 classes every time in the Bronx and train there, and I did that like for 2 or 3 years.
Ooh.
So it never stopped for throughout that entire time. It was basically my escape from reality because I didn't want to just like keep on saying I'm in a bad situation. No, I want to work on myself. I'm still working on myself as we speak.
So this fight for you to get to where you are, it's been a long road because I mean, like you just said, it started you was on the streets and you've worked your way out of that. Does that make getting to where you are mean more to you?
Oh no, definitely. But I am not where I want to be.
Okay.
I'm granted. I love being an Exodus Pro. I will 100% honor Exodus Pro with no problem whatsoever because they're actually the ones that's getting me to where I need to be. Love the company. I love the place, and I know the future may hold great things. I may be anywhere else but there, but if I ever have to come back there, I'll do it with no hesitation.
So
But
you sorry, go ahead.
as of right now, I am going to stay with this company as long as I can with every single ounce of passion that I can give.
I love it. You know, you said earlier that you're not where you want to be. So where do you want to be?
I personally have many different goals. I want to be in New Japan someday. I want to be in TNA. As of right now, I don't want to be with the two big ones, such as like WWE or AEW, because I feel like there's a lot of cluster going on there.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to be recognized by people. I want people to know who I am and know how I got here. I want to send a message, but at the same time, have fun doing it.
And also in the story you just told, you spoke about getting your training sessions. How did you find that school? Did you come across it or what happened?
So I originally knew about it from my buddy Abraham Khan.
Hmm.
When it was during the CYN times at the time, and this was like a couple of years back, and I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like, maybe that's not for me. But as the time went on and I saw it evolve, I went to the very first preface of Exodus Pro and shook EC3's hand. He shook my hand at first, and I was like completely super surprised, and he was like really happy to see me, even like super excited when I was getting shown off how much passion I had. And then when I saw he was opening a school near me now here in Cleveland, um, I had to take the opportunity. I haven't been properly trained throughout that time frame. I might as well better my craft.
And is that the first time you met EC3 or have you seen him and met him beforehand?
I've seen him numerous times on television. My favorite rivalry with him is with Rockstar Spud, but um, that was my very first time meeting him in person, and like again, I was like so lost, so confused. 'Cause I don't know anybody. I'm very uncomfortable with meeting a lot of new people. But when he came up to me, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And shook my hand. I was like, "Huh? What? Oh, okay, cool." And I was like, he's just like I see this with everybody. Everybody is just another person at the end of the day. And if you give me respect, I'll give respect back.
With EC3, something I've realized myself and I've heard from numerous other people is when you look at him and even when you're talking to him at first, he seems intimidating. Like there is the intimidation factor. He's been to the mountaintop, but when you really break it down and after the conversation's over, even sometimes during the middle of it, you realize, yeah, he's just another human being trying to help, trying to contribute, and it really changes the way you think about things. I've noticed.
Now, like if for me it was a little different because I've back in the New York job, I've met many different celebrities, even some wrestlers as well, and I just look at them like, hey, you're here. I know what you accomplished, but cool. I looked at EC3 and I'm like, cool. I knew he was going to be here. Didn't know he was going to be the first person I meet. But at the same time, like, I need to impress him. But at the end of the day, he's not going to hate me for trying.
Of course.
So, like, it was no intimidation, but I knew where I needed to do, basically. It's like a teacher in
And
a classroom.
okay, that makes sense. That's a perfect analogy. So you walk into the preface. Who else was in there with you?
I believe at the time was, I think he was the national champion at the time, Latimer and Aaron Stevens.
Okay.
And Stevens likes me for who I am. Latimer, I don't talk to him as much. I only like ran into him like once or twice. I said something here or there, but it was mostly like EC3 and Stevens were the main two I mostly talk to. I go to EC3 for like some ideas that I would throw, and I go for Stevens for how I need to talk or what way I need to talk or what I need to present and present to everybody who they can like me.
What would you say is the biggest piece or nugget of advice that you've been able to gather from both EC3 and then Stevens as well?
Be yourself. I
Both of
have
them?
a both of them. Both of them says be who you are. The story that I live is a very tragic one regardless, and there's no sense of uh recreating that in any way, shape, or form. That is a story that you need to tell, and that's a story you need to play. And just be yourself.
Okay. So how did the Cowboy character come about?
They needed a manager for Brandon Day.
That's it?
There was two slots open, one for a match, one for the manager spot. I said, give the match to the younger guy. I'm willing to be the manager. I did it. I had fun with it. I got caught at the very last moment. I took a devastating clothesline with his opponent, and at the end of the day, he looked at me. It's like, you made something so ordinary, extraordinary. You're in. And I'm like, hell yeah. And that was 3 years ago.
So was that technically for Exodus, was that your debut?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically, it was my debut, but my in ring debut was, I believe, late last year.
Okay. And that was your debut as Cowboy. You wrestled beforehand, correct?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Um, what would you say was the biggest differences between wrestling back then and how you're doing now?
The feel of the crowd. A
Okay.
lot, all the other companies I was a part of was mostly like friends and families of other people and didn't, or was like fans of the celebrity guest at the time. None of them really cared about the um the little guys, to be honest. I got told by one of the management guys that I'm like every other typical African American wrestler there, and I'm like that. I don't know how to feel about that. And it's like, you know what, I need to go. And then they like let me go, which is kind of funny because it was the same year I debuted in Exodus. Um, and I'm like, whatever, man. The feeling is completely different now because it's not. I'm not saying based off numbers, just based off the vibe of everything. People are actually genuinely there to enjoy the show instead of just there to support one person in particular.
So going back a little bit, so the your original run, we'll call it. How did you feel going into your debut back then?
I don't remember my debut back then.
No,
Not at all.
that's crazy. Okay. On the other side, how did you feel going into your debut for Exodus, going in as Cowboy, managing Brandon Day? Like, what did that day look like? What was that experience like being in front of the Exodus crowd? Things like that.
I was a little nervous going back and forth, like walk. Because I tend to walk around the back down in the like locker room area everywhere, and just like constantly like pacing. At the time, Heath Slater was there, so I kept on like walking into his little area and walking back out because I kept on feeling bad because I felt a little suspicious, and I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm just nervous. Um, when they say, "Hey, it's your time," we went upstairs. I got the Brandon Day jacket on. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. And then immediately my brain just stops and says, "Be Towel Boy." Like, cool. So I warned Brandon Day before we went up there, and he started laughing. I was like, "You want me to be the super goofy guy compared to your super serious one? Okay, I know what motivation I'm going to do. I'm going to play donkey."
Okay.
And immediately he was like, "Oh God!" And it worked. Everybody loved it.
So is that the, I guess, inspiration behind the Cowboy character?
Is the inspiration based off the attitude, but over time, Cowboy started becoming more of my personality.
Okay. What's the difference?
Um, Instead of like nonstop talking junk to both the wrestler and the crowd, um, it just like changed like within the next show. To actually, to be honest, which is kind of funny that everybody was like, "Oh man, I really hate you, Towel Boy. Towel Boy, I really don't like you. What are you doing?" And then the next show, it's like, "Towel Boy, what are you doing over here? Why are you with Brandon Day?" So, I got a family to feed. I'm sorry. Or like, "Towel Boy, we love you." Huh? Me? I love you. I respect you. I care for you. I love you. And it's like going around to different members of the crowd as like really enjoying me. I, by a Miss Towel Boy, was supposed to be a joke heel with Brandon Day. Instead, by a mistake, I got the most love in the entire locker room. And it kept on going. It kept on going. Freaking EC3 was like, "Hey, we need something for you to say. How about yeah, boy?" And I'm like, very short and simple. I'm fine with it as long as I don't have to sound like Flavor Flav. Then I'm fine. And so Brandon Day is doing a promo for his title match later. So all I'm just saying is, yeah, boy, and just start screaming out loud. And now everybody says it while I'm coming out. It's a great run so far. But the yeah boys with the beginning of Tower, everything is just amazing.
Something that I've noticed, especially from Exodus, is the characters that you would least think maybe would get over, like your Cowboys or your Mike the Agents, get over more than anything else on the program. And why do you think that is?
There, you got the big tough guys who know that they can actually beat behind with no problem whatsoever, but they also want somebody they can cheer for. The guys who are actually that that might not be able to make it but still find a way, they want somebody to be behind them, such that yes, Mike the Agent made his debut. Everybody was behind him. His music hit the very first time, and every single person was singing that song as if they knew the lyrics. As soon as he got beat up, everybody felt bad, but then they'll still cheer him. The Towel Boy, everybody loves Towel Boy. Everybody wants to be behind Towel Boy. Maybe someday, if by any chance, Towel Boy will have the biggest win and the entire crowd will erupt. It's going to happen someday. I believe it. Another, I can't really think of another great example, to be honest. Everybody really, for the other side of things, everybody really hates Carson
Yes.
because he's Carson. And it's the same feel that I get, to be honest. Every time I see Carson Drake doing the little floss thing, I feel like I want to punch him in the face.
It's a
Or
natural
Beretta,
thing.
Brandon Beretta. I feel like if I sit down in his classroom, he is going to charge at me full throttle, and I am not going to see the light of day. That's what it feels like around Brandon Beretta when he gets out there. Everybody has a different feel to it. The crowd knows it. We know it. The boys in the back know it. And for the ones who doesn't really have that feel to it, it just feels like the crowd is cheering to emptiness in a way. It's a hard thing to explain, to be honest. But like, if you want them to be behind you, give them a reason to be behind you. Or if you really want them to hate you, the moves don't really matter. It's the message behind it is the reason.
So with that said, you said the biggest piece of advice given to you by both EC3 and Aaron Stevens is be yourself.
Yes.
How do you take that advice and correlate it to your character and what you do in the ring? Because I know that the vague advice might be hard for some people to take and gather and put it into their in-ring work. How do you do it?
Like the way that I do it is not just based off movement, but based off reaction and movement. I'm a very reactive person. If you actually get to sit down and know who I am, facial reactions is a thing. Movement is a thing. The words I say sometimes bring a giant punch to it, or like the references I make. There's so many references I make on my daily basis, which is so weird. Most of the time, I don't even know what I'm referencing. And if I go out there as Talboy moves in a different way or reacts in a different way or feels the pain in a different way. Like you can throw me onto the concrete, and normally I would just be like, but to be honest, I'm more of a okay, let's do it again. Just like that hip toss I took by Cristiano. Yes, it hurt, but I can do it again. you, it's more of a I know I can take a lot, I can give a lot, and I can react in a different manner, whether if I hate it or loved it. The second part suggestive. I don't know why I said that, but
Okay.
um, as Talboy to me is just me times 10. If that's the TLDR to it, I don't.
Would you I think the only comparison I guess realistically off the top of my head that I could think of is it's kind of like a Spike Dudley situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been compared to Spike so many
Oh,
times.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Who
my
else is in it?
the beginning of my career, sadly or not sadly, I've been really compared to Kofi, and I'm like, I see it, but that's kind of sad. Nowadays, based off my movement, I've been compared to AR Fox as of late, and I'm like, that's pretty cool and different.
That's cool.
But reaction and personality wise, Spike Dudley, and I'm like, oh god damn it. Well, that makes sense.
It's not a bad comparison to make.
It's not, no, but at the same time, it's like don't give them ideas, because if you give them ideas, I'm just gonna start having ideas, and that's not okay.
It's is it one of those maybe okay because like Spike put himself through a lot. Like the amounts of punishment Spike Dudley went through is kind of insane. Is that why you're like don't give them ideas?
I know my limits. I'm not gonna put myself through that much punishment every single week. I will only do it for like special occasions
And
or
that makes
important
sense.
occasions. Like you're not going to see me doing in a battle royal out of nowhere, just getting launched into the stairs. No, like me and Cristiano, that hip toss. So many people try to talk us out of it. I wouldn't let go.
It's a moment though. That's
Yeah,
that's the important part. It's just it people some people leave that night and only remember did y'all see that hip toss Cowboy got hit with? Like that's what sticks to their mind. Especially you gotta think kids. Those are the things kids might look at and be like, that's a moment that I'm gonna remember.
oh yeah, definitely. Like not every match needs a moment, but the big match feels definitely do. You don't
How
have to
do
go
you
viral everything.
how do you decide when it's time to go all out?
Depending on what match it is and depending on how long you're going to be with this person, it structures like a ladder or a pyramid, which is a much more better thing to um, compare this to. The Blue Knight that one was a moment everybody didn't know it was actually me. There were some people down in the locker room that didn't know it was me, which is kind of funny. Which I was like, wow, really? I thought it was obvious because I came out, clothes and everything, went back to dressed up, went right back out. When I'm like, you, you didn't, okay, um, or the hip toss, yeah, that was a moment. The suicide dive to Sebastian, my very first ever suicide dive, that was a moment for me, but it was a moment for everybody else too. Um, it depends on where you're gonna build that structure. If you build it wrong, some moments are gonna get lost in the shuffle.
So you mentioned the Blue Knight. Um, I was there. It was interesting. I I I watching it. I was there with my siblings, and some of them don't watch wrestling all the time. Like they're my youngest sibling, he watches it with me all the time, but the other two, my step siblings, they didn't understand the concept of the Toga Battle Royal at all. They just didn't get it. And I was like, okay, it's fair. Like the show's called When in Rome. They're having a Toga Battle Royal for the Caesar's crown. It just makes sense. It's wrestling. It makes
Yeah,
sense. Don't overthink it. And then you came out fully clothed, and then you was told to leave. And they was like, why can't he stay? I said, it's a Toga Battle Royal. He's got to be in a toga. And then I can't. It was one of them who said, I bet the guy under the blue is the guy that was fully dressed, and he went back there and changed. And I was like, now you have a wrestling mindset and you didn't even realize it. So, like, it's those little things that I think matter the most sometimes because that's something that a kid's going to remember. Hey, that guy that came out, went in, changed, and then came back out and won. And so, like, I guess my question that I'm leading into the long way around is whose idea was it for the bait and switch kind of?
EC3.
He's a genius.
Yeah, he definitely is. He was originally I thought it was a joke until he said you have to come out like sometime a blue night. So I immediately bought a morph suit. and I'm like, I gotta cut the head off because I got the wrong one. And I'm like, no, I got the one that I can't see the eye holes. So I looked at what I had in my closet and just so happened to have a certain superhero mask. I had to also cut the eye holes out. And I'm like, this is gonna be so stupid, but it's gonna be so funny. Like, this is gonna work. I believe so. This is definitely gonna work. And it worked. People noticed the mask, don't get me wrong. But it worked. Surprisingly. I'm surprised I haven't gotten in trouble.
They didn't say anything when they saw the mask.
No. Not,
That's
they,
great.
they everybody backstage saw underneath the mask, but other people didn't recognize what type of mask it was. I'm like, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well,
I still remember that moment. I will never get people will still like come up to me, ask me, where's the blue night? And I'm like, I don't know, back at home.
how important was that night for you?
I had to make that night very important, but at the same time, I was extremely worried at the very end of it because of the injury of Sebastian.
Yeah.
So as soon as like I was able to go up the ramp and finally have that one moment that can actually walk through the curtains and bring home something, which I took to every single show I was throughout that moment, whatever I was booked or not. I brought that trophy everywhere. But I rushed to Sebastian. I was making sure he was okay. So I had to make sure my friend was okay, but at the same time trying to enjoy my moment. But even more so, like super nervous that that moment's not going to be remembered, but people are still asking about it. It's like, okay, I did something right in more than one way. So I'm proud of myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And was that the moment that sparked the rivalry between yourself and Cristiano Argento, or did you guys have some prelude? I guess.
So during my actual in-ring debut, it was invitational to face him for the crown. It was a scramble. It was the debut at the time of Handsome and Gorgeous, Gorgeous and Handsome. It was the guy wielding a chainsaw chasing him around. It was I think Cowpoke Paul was in that match, and Brandon Day was in that match, and I got clotheslined by Brandon Day, and Cristiano picked up the three. Following month, I got deemed the threat to the crown, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. How am I a threat? Whatever. So like he tied me up with my towels around my hands and everything. Took off the hood, took off the whatever was covering my head. I don't remember. And Brandon Day came out, saved me, and that was that. Then after that, it was a tag team match, but in the fine print, he can have more than one partner, which was Sebastian and the Bard, Gaston, versus me and Brandon Day, where that was this year, and we picked up the win for that one. Fast forward to me winning the Battle Royal, and then he's getting more mad because I won the Battle Royal. That means he has to defend this thing right here with me at the next show. Next show happens. I beat him for it. I'm now Caesar, the Towboy to Caesar, Caesar Towboy. I don't know. It's uncomfortable crown. The crown hurts so much. Um, and now this match, the Caesar's revenge match, is continuing the thing between him and us two, which I am so confused on what his mindset is, to be honest, because Caesar revenge match, at least like let me know what it is. Like, do I I don't know. I can't even make a reference on this one. I'm confused on what to do in a Caesar revenge match.
Is this Caesar's crown going to be on a pole? Can we see a Caesar's crown on the pole
oh,
match?
oh God, no.
You're not a fan of on the pole matches?
No. Oh my God, no.
That'd be tough.
Uh,
What's your reaction if that's EC's vision?
shit, I guess.
Oh, fair enough.
I
That'd be
can't
tough.
fight now.
So let's say when you defeat Argento and you retain your Caesar's crown, what's next for you then?
That is a very good question. I have so many different ideas, but as of right now, I can't say anything for sure.
Okay. You just want to get Cristiano behind you?
Yes. I mean, let him focus more on NWA, and I'll do what he couldn't do. Make the crown look better.
Okay. I feel you. Is the NWA a platform that you strive to be on?
Yes, because I'm seeing a certain champion that needs to have a brand new holder. And to be honest, with those three guys walking around being all tough guys and everything, I'm pretty sure that junior heavyweight title has been with them for way too long.
Okay. Think Cowboy's got the junior heavyweight championship in his future?
Oh, definitely. I can be a great junior heavyweight champion. I can be a fighting champion no matter where I go. You can take me anywhere in the states or any country. I will defend that title as much as I can.
Okay. So, speaking of NWA, Exodus is streamed on the NWA YouTube page, and 9 times out of 10, the Exodus territory shows that are broadcast on the YouTube channel do better than the NWA shows and matches and things they put on the channel on the regular. How does that feel to be one of the cast and crew on the shows that do better than the original show?
Because there's no place better than Exodus. Like, do you not see how many people are from Exodus that's currently on that roster right now? Pretty Boy
Most of
Smooth,
them.
Tiffany Nieves is a double champion. Carson Drake, the slime balls. And now we have the Midwest champion, Dante Casanova. We have the former Caesar, Cristiano. We have EC3 himself. We have Pasta CeeLo. We have a lot of people there that is from Exodus himself. Exodus Pro is migrating into NWA. And yes, there are some great talent over on the other territories, but the majority of the amazing talent is right here.
So NWA has so many territories. At this point, it's hard to keep track of how many territories it is. What does it look like for you guys as a crew to try to maintain the status as the best?
Just keep doing what we're doing. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Like, don't get me wrong. One of my buddies is currently one half of the tag team champions, and he's uh, Leo Fox, and he's doing amazing over there as well. However, if he came over back to Exodus again, that man will be nothing but a beast, and the entire world will see that. The territories are just a giant competition between each other, and each and every time that they put on a show or perform out there, Exodus is always on top. It's been like that for the past 3 years now, and to be honest, I don't see it any other way as of right now. I'll give all respect to every single competitor, to all that's over there. But when it comes to the great crew backstage and the crowd here and the amazing wrestlers that bust their ass in that ring each and every time we go out there, Exodus is the ones that does every single A+ work. This is why I don't see many people from other territories at NWA. I was at an NWA show at one point. I was just like helping out as much as possible because I want to get my foot in the store. But all I saw was NWA talent and Exodus people. And I'm like, wow, that means a lot.
So, something that I've been recently trying to do on the channel, something fun, is actually inspired by my little brother. Call him Nasty Nate here on the channel. Little segment. He always comes at me with what's your starting five, and it'll be like, what's your starting five pop, like, and just pick five pops, or what's your starting five, you know, basketball teams, and then we'll lay off the. It's kind of like a Mount Rushmore, just a fun twist on it. So he gave me this segment. I'm gonna set it up for you, and you throw the answer at me. So let's say you're a coach. You have to pick five people to start on your team. Who would those five boys or girls, men, women be in this situation?
In wrestling, because
In wrestling or
I don't
in
know any other
life,
sports.
just whoever, who's on your team, who's your five people,
uh, wow.
anybody.
Uh to be honest, I can't even say Paul Heyman to be fair, because ECW is a thing. Kind of feel bad, to be fair. I would say put EC3 there. I would say for passion and character work, put of course Dragunov there. For fun, for a fun personal thing, put Sami Zayn there. That's 3. Um, for amazing women work, put it's like a toss up, to be honest, between Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane.
Okay.
And for overall good quality, I want to say Cena, but I feel like I should respect the fact that I can't say Cena
Why not?
because I want to let the man rest.
Okay, that's fair.
So as of right now, uh, man, I would have said Wyatt too, but another one I would just let him rest. But I'll give it to his brother, Bo.
But okay.
Yeah.
So we got EC3,
Mm-hmm.
Dragunov, Sami
Mm-hmm.
Zayn,
Yeah.
Rhea, or Kyrie. We'll group them together. We'll just throw it
Yeah.
there. And then last but not least, I'm blanking on the last one.
Bo Dallas.
Okay, Bo Dallas. So keep those in mind. We might come back to it here in a second.
Okay.
Just you've been under the tutelage of those fine individuals at Exodus. How important would you say has their training and care that they've given you been to you to develop and, pun intended, control your narrative?
Out of the many people that tried so hard to get me to train with them, or many people that try to dictate the way that my career is, Exodus is literally the most important of all of them. I mean, at one point when I was training in the Bronx Wrestling Federation, when they had a place at over there, they had some House of Glory guys come over to train, and that was when Private Party was there, and they were like trying to get me to join House of Glory. And I was like, no, thank you. I not my thing. Uh, create create a pro too far. I'm sorry, I can't afford it. Move here to Cleveland. Uh, CYN at the time, EXO now. Yeah, definitely. You guys are the ones I need. You guys are the ones I'm looking forward to working with, and you guys not only how molded me, but the way I am, but then didn't really change much to change that who I am. So it makes it important to me that they still want me to not forget who I am at all.
What would you say is the next evolution for Talboy?
That I would say just wait and see, to be honest.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Don't want to give nothing away. I like it.
Mm.
You can't give all the secrets away. Um, I got two more questions for you, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
We talked about goals earlier. You mentioned New Japan, TNA, some others. What would you What would you like to achieve before the end of 2025?
I at least want to hold my very first championship. I've never held one before,
Okay.
or like
Anything else?
maintain, um, or at least like finally sell merch. I don't have merch on me at all. I can't. I keep on coming with many ideas, but I'm like, how can I execute this? And it just goes like, no, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. That makes no sense. And it's just like a nonstop cycle until something finally like spits out. I'm like, where is it? So yeah, at least like those two like where I'm at. I feel like the former is not going to happen still, and I'm okay with waiting because I'm still enjoying this ride that I'm taking. But the latter needs to happen.
We need some Blue Knight plushies.
No.
That's a good idea, man.
Oh
Those are
God,
selling.
no.
No?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Last but not least, I told you to remember your starting five.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say somebody gets injured. Let's say Dragonoff can't make it. He's still on the shelf. Who's your sixth man? Who's coming off the bench?
Who is my sixth man? Okay, so I wasn't prepared for that. There are many different people that can actually give off. There's many different people that I'm like a big no to. Originally, when I was younger, I really idolized the fact that it was the Miz because I love the whole reality TV thing. And at one point, I was known as Mr. Reality himself with a warp reality. But it can also go to go to the band that I don't want to say his name because I don't want him popping up out of nowhere right now. It's terrifying. Jesus Christ. Joe Henry.
I wish he'd appear. That'd
Joe
be
Henry.
nice. I've been trying to say his name so he'd pop up on the podcast. It hasn't worked yet.
I uh, or or if I have to be 100% for somebody that's in the same caliber as Dragonoff, Eddie Kingston.
I love it. I love it. Are you, bonus question while we're here, are you excited to see him return this weekend as we're recording this?
If the day that he comes out, if it's this weekend or if it's not, whatever happens, once he comes out, I'm gonna sit there, just stare and watch, and at the same time look behind over my shoulder to make sure he's not coming to beat my behind either.
I love it, man. Thank you. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much. I just, this is your second ever podcast. I'd like to leave an open invitation. You ever want to do Cowboy Part 2? I'd love to have you.
Okay, I'm 100% down.
Okay, man. I know we did at the beginning, but just in case maybe they wasn't paying attention, they had to go get something to drink out of the fridge. Would you like to shout out them social medias one more time?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am your Caesar of Exodus Pro, and you can find me at Wild Animal Fox both on Twitter and Instagram. And the next show you'll see me is Hexodus. That is Exodus Pro's Halloween show on October 11th. While I face Cristiano Argento for the crown in a Caesar's revenge match.